Greed, betrayal, and humiliation. You know, this would be a start to a great love story if it wasn't about the Roman defeat at Carrhae. One of the worst disasters the Romans have ever suffered. What a glorious day to behold cataphracts and to not be a Roman. So, the Battle of Carrhae. Our good old friend Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in the Republic, pretty much without a doubt, decided, hey, you know what? Let's start a completely unnecessary war with the Parthians. Now, a lot of people in Rome were opposed against this, essentially, because Rome had a treaty with Parthia. There was absolutely no reason to provoke them. What was Crassus trying to do? Well, he was already rich, just like I'm about to enrich these archers' lives with a little charge, with a little drive-by. It was mainly a military action in a way, because, you know what, he was sharing power with our friend Julius Caesar, Pompey, so it was only natural he wanted to show he wasn't a wash-up, you know. When you're in the triumvirate, you kinda have to pull your weight. He was joined by his son Publius Licinius Crassus, who brought a lot of Gallic auxiliaries, veterans of Caesar's campaign, and a lot of them were actually quite good quality cavalry, like noble cavalry, so to speak. But unfortunately, the Parthian manner of war was just something they never faced. Not even cataphracts or horse archers. Yeah, where would they find that in Europe? In their front, so they got obliterated, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which team you are voting for. Now, Publius, unfortunately, he was sent to secure a good escape route, potentially, chase out some horse archers. Yeah, the only thing he chased was honorably leaving the battlefield by falling on his sword, and then the Parthians, you know, cut off his head, used it as a little display during the battle. Crassus, the Elder, didn't really fare that much better. During negotiations, he was killed. Molten gold poured down his throat, as we know. His greed was a thing of legend, even amongst the Parthians. So, what do we make of this? About 40k Roman troops, if our good old friend Plutarchus is to be believed, versus 1,000 cataphracts and 9,000 horse archers? Yeah, one of the most humiliating defeats. But listen, this was also betrayal, arrogance, greed, or all the markings of all these failure battles, and epic love stories, and epic cataphract charges. He denied help, he didn't want the Armenians to help him, he didn't want to go through Armenia. Instead, he was misled to go through the deserts of Mesopotamia, so his army got obliterated, just like the Roman left, my right here. One of the tactics Crassus had in mind was to just wait out for the Parthians to run out of arrows, but you know what, buddy? Supply camels. Yeah, that didn't go quite as planned. Now, my general is goated. This is not good. We want to try to get him back. We want to start moving the skirmishers here. Maybe we can get into the archers. We're overlapping, unfortunately. We're in commander range. We're trying to not overlap. But it is what it is. Okay, these guys are disengaging. Now they're gonna have a cohesion check and charge. Look at the models. It's like Hail Caesar, but you can actually play it instead of having to paint the miniatures. It's just so charming. I love it personally. A little flank onto the legionnaires by the steppe horse archers. Not ordered, but quite welcome. Let's get our general here closer towards the Roman general. Maybe we can chase down the archers. This unit can go and shoot at the Marian legionaries. My general, unfortunately, goaded. Oh my god, this is a very lovely feature of early access. These cataphracts are gonna go off the battlefield. Captured in 4K. Carry on, my wayward son. Exposed. Okay, so now we have to go to destroy the Roman armored cavalry, of course. what kind of cataphract abusers would we be, right? When the Romans were in Testuro to try to protect from the horse archer arrows, the cataphracts would charge. Obviously, they needed to soften the Romans up first because Surena, the leader of the Parthians, decided that, you know what, maybe we just can't instantly break them on a charge. Maybe they're just too heavy armored for that. But we'll try though, eventually. Suren was one of the great Parthian noble houses, and that was the name of the commander. His first name, though, we don't know it in Western sources. In the East, it's mentioned as Rostam, but that might as well even be a modern invention because that is the name of a Persian epic literature hero. Okay, so did we... yeah, we're off the map bounds. Can we get back in time? Let's try. It's no wonder the Romans adopted heavy cavalry doctrine eventually, when all their enemies were heavy cavalry enjoyers. I mean, just look how badass cataphracts are. And they're definitely gonna win against Gauls if we can get a nice charge. Oh, here we go. What we waited for. Roman armored cav versus the cataphracts. Oh yes, look at that Contos stab. And the Romans are dropping like flies. No wonder when they're surrounded. The general is dead. Maybe we can queue an order to attack these guys. There we go. Actually, the Parthians win. Early. Let's go. And this is a new feature added to the game. So this is going to be in full release. You can see the manpower, total kills. And what kills were from the charge, what was in the melee, ranged, and during the retreat, a very helpful feature. Yeah, we've absolutely slaughtered here. Stick around, there's gonna be a lot more Strategos and Total War coming your way. So until the next time...